you are to distinguish the direct allocation methods, the step down, and the reciprocal methods of allocating support department costs. So basically, that's what you are supposed to do. 3 of them. Yeah. Remember, we did say last time that when cost comes, it's usually just some huge amounts that just come all together. And these huge amounts need to be allocated to different departments. Okay, so there are different methods that are used for allocating this particular cost. You have got the direct allocation method, the step down method, and the reciprocal methods. That's how it is done. What about the direct method? The direct method, it is that one where you allocate, the costs only to the departments or support department, okay, only. Where you share to the operating departments only, or to manufacturing departments. Just a minute.
Hello. Hello. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. What's happening?
Yeah, like I am using my headsets. It's like they are not working properly. I was talking. I could not get you what you were saying. Hello. And again my mic was off. I was talking. I even went a bit far explaining. This is when I've realized. Let me get back again. Where did I
No, because
end?
I
Just
couldn't
remind.
hear anything you were saying.
Okay, just remind me where I ended. Like with you.
You ended on direct method.
Or direct method. Sorry, the mic had gotten off. It had switched itself off. Then me, I kept on talking.
Uh-uh.
So I was talking about the step down. With the step down now, it's where you allocate support department costs to other support department costs as well. So remember, here, all the costs that is coming from service department, it just goes to the operating departments. You get. In short, there is no cost or zero cost that you take to where? That you take to the fellow support department. I'll show you that using an example. Then here, under step down, you can share some costs. A department can share a cost to the fellow service department. You get. These are supporting department. Like in case this A is a supporting department, right? B is also a supporting department. C is a operating department, and the D operating, right? And like A can share something to B as well. But in the previous one, A could just share to C and D. You get. That is in under direct method. It cannot share anything to the fellow uh, you know, supporting department. Then when
Okay.
you come to step down, it means that this A, it can share some cost to the fellow supporting department as well. Also to
Okay.
D, and also to C like that. You got
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line. And then when it comes to the reciprocal method now, this one is interesting in that now these departments, they can be sharing costs to each other. In a step down, if A donates shares anything to B, if A shares anything to B, then B should not share anything to A. That is under step down. B should just, when you share something like, let me show you. A has shared something to B, right? It has also shared it to C and to D. These are operating departments. Are you
Okay.
following?
Yeah.
And then, if A, if A again, if again A shares some cost to B, and then it also shares to C and to D, then I was saying that B now, when it comes to reciprocal, can also share some cost to A again. So A had given something, remained with zero, right? Zero cost. Then it can receive in the next step something from B again, ending up having something again. But under step down method, listen to the way how it goes. If A shares to B, then when it comes to the time where you have to allocate something for B, like where B has to share, B will not have to share to A, no. Why not sharing to A? Because A had already shared its share, and again, it's a supporting department. So you can't do that. So what we'll do, B will just see, even if it received something from A, it will just share to C and to D. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
That's the reciprocal method. So now let me just have an example. Examples always do it better. Can I have examples? Examples always do it better. Here is the data that we have been given. Are you seeing the data?
Yes, sir.
They are giving you, these are costs, the budgeted costs for maintenance, for HR, for assembly, and for finishing. Are you following that?
Yeah.
These are what? These are costs. Now
Okay.
listen carefully. These costs, they have to be allocated. Now listen carefully. Assembly and finishing lines, finishing department, these are operating department. In other words, they are manufacturing departments.
Okay.
But maintenance and human resource, these are support what? Departments. Okay? Now, when you're doing the allocation, you have to find the means of having these costs that are in the support department. They should find themselves in the what? In the operating departments. Until you remain with zero of cost in the support department, in any of the support departments. You didn't get that. I'll repeat that.
All right.
The idea is every cost that we have in the support department, it should end up finding itself where? In the operating department. That's where we need cost. So now, how does the cost move from support to operating department? That's where the question is.
Okay.
Okay. That's where the question is. So the movement, how it is done in such a way that you have to use the basis of apportionment. These are the different bases that you're going to use in apportioning.
Okay.
You get the point? Yeah. These are the ones that you're going to use in apportioning. Yeah. So you can use the square feet. You can also use the number of employees. Now, listen carefully. These are the two bases of apportionment. To allocate which cost? These two costs. So you have to choose the most appropriate.
Yeah.
The question may not tell you exactly what you have to use, but you have to choose when you look at them, the most appropriate, the one that is directly linked to that department. So which one do you think is the most appropriate for human resource management to share this cost?
The number of employees.
The number of employees, good girl, right? Then when you go to the maintenance, you can use the square feet, right? As the basis of apportionment.
Yes.
That at that point you have agreed, we are okay. Let's move on to the next slide. Let me show you how the allocation was done now. Let's allocate human resource. This cost in human resource. How are we? Oh, let's start with the one in maintenance. Sorry. Let's start with maintenance. 300. We are going to deduct the 300 because we want to share the 300 from maintenance. But since we are using the direct method, what did I say? Since we are using the direct method, how are we going to share this?
We are just going to allocate to the assembly and the finishing department.
Exactly. We just need to allocate this to the assembly and the finishing department. Now, what is the basis of apportionment?
For assembly and finishing, right?
Yes. What is the basis of apportionment? We are allocating maintenance.
We will use square feet, right?
Yes, we use the square feet, isn't it?
For both of them.
So, exactly. And so since we are just allocating to these, you will ignore these as if they are not there. You just consider these two. So add these two and do the ratios. So this plus that gives us 210, right?
Yeah.
So you do 110 divided by 210 times this 300. It will show you how much goes to assembly, and you do the same here for what? For finishing times 300, it will give you for finishing. You get the point? That's how you are sharing using direct method. Any question?
No, sir.
Here you are fine with direct method using maintenance. Now let's share human resource using using what? What would be the basis? The number of hours, isn't it? Now here, listen, we want to share using the number of hours, using the number of employees, sorry. Since we are just sharing the operating costs, which one are you going to consider? Only this one, isn't it?
Yes,
You
the last.
ignore these. So you will say, for assembly, it shall be 48 over 72. The total will be 48 plus 24. Times what? How much are we allocating from human resource? 2160. You also do the same for finishing. Finishing is what now? It's 24 over 72 times 2160. Did you get that one?
Because, so, you know, the wrong thing that I was doing is that I was allocating the departments, like the main for maintenance department, I was using the assembly line 1,700. So instead of multiplying by, like, for example, 110 over 210 times 300, I was multiplying it by 1,700.
Oh yeah, I see. No.
That's why I was very confused. Even with the exam paper, I was doing the same thing and I couldn't get the answer, you know?
But now you have understood.
Yeah, now I've understood. In fact, direct method is one of the easiest ones.
Yes, you have to multiply by this because this is the cost that you want to share, that you are allocating.
Yeah, I've understood now.
Okay, that's fine.
So just for the last one, yeah, okay, I've understood. Yeah. If we use for the maintenance department, the 300, which is the allocation, we will use since we have to send it to the operating department, we will use the number of employees and the square feet from their side, because that's how we are apportioning the cost, right?
Right.
Yeah, I've gotten it.
So maintenance, it will be 110 divided by 210 times this cost that you are sharing. Also here, 110 divided by 210 times 300, and you are fine.
Yeah, because if just to relate it back to the exam paper that I was doing, the apportionment was the same as 110 over 120, right? 120. Now, when I multiplied by, it was by 44,000, the cost. When I multiplied by 44,000, it's giving me 110 over 220, sorry. It's giving me 230,000, but the answer sheet is saying 22,000. So I'm not sure what's, actually, no, I got 22,000. Yeah, never mind. I got it. I think I was just adding it wrong. Sorry.
Okay. So are you fine with the direct method?
Yeah, I've also checked the exam paper that I was doing. So I think, yeah, I've understood it now.
Okay, great. Now we go on to the step down method. Very interesting. This one, what did we say? We said that now a supporting department can share some cost to a fellow supporting department as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That should be the bottom line. And then let's move on. But it cannot share to itself. It can share to the other. You get it, right? Yes. So, for example, because I really need you to understand, let me get back here. We want to use now the other method. So how can we allocate the maintenance, the 300 for maintenance? You said maintenance, we are using square feet, right?
Yes.
So since we are allocating this 300, we are going to share some cost to HR now, isn't it? And to this one and to this one. Okay. So it simply means when you are considering, we'll consider which ones these. Right?
Yeah.
These are the totals you consider. You
So
will
we
not
add
consider.
all three of them and then we get the ratio of it.
Yes, do the ratios.
Okay.
What's the sum?
It's 250.
It's 250.
Yes.
So you do 30 divided by whatever amount times 300, isn't it?
Yeah.
It will go for HR.
HR.
Then
Done, yes.
110 divided by 2, you get the point, right?
Yeah, times 1,000. No, times 300 again, right?
Yeah, the same costs.
Times 300 again.
Right. Then when it comes to this one now, HR, remember HR received some cost from maintenance, isn't it? Let's call it X, right?
Yeah.
Previous. So when you add this one, it will be some bigger cost. It will be the sum of this plus X. So let's just say X double. It will be the sum of these two.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to allocate this X from human resource to where? Listen carefully. If you're using this method, the step down method, it should not share anything again to the what? To the maintenance department. But where should it just share? It just shares this and here. Have you understood? Like when you do the step down, if this one for maintenance had already shared, so it should not receive anything from the following department. No. The following department, you should just know that, oh, me, I received from my friend, but me, I should not take anything to my friend. I should just take to the operating department everything, including what I received from my friend. Simple. You got it?
All right. Mm-hmm.
That is how it is done. So the ratios that you will do now for HR, it will just be these again. It will just be these. You will not consider this one because you are not taking anything this side now, and not this one because you are not bringing anything back to this. So this is what I was trying to explain.
Once we have calculated, you just move on. You don't like calculate it again, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can you just finish the example for me to understand?
Okay, let's finish the example. But you understood how we got these 250s, right? Where I don't explain that part.
Yeah, I've got that. I understood that.
When you added the maintenance cost, they had zero cost. These and these you add them together.
Yeah,
What are you adding now? You're also adding the cost that you allocated, right? So now listen carefully. When you want to allocate human resource, you will not allocate 2160. No, you're going to allocate which one as well? This one, the total, because it received some amount from the other department. So you remember what I was talking about, the issue of adding this.
So we will take the step from the one we got, the 2196.
Exactly.
That's how we are going to continue.
That's the one now that we need to allocate. Now listen, when we are allocating, ideally we should have
directly from HR.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. So now, ideally, in the question, we should have allocated something to this other department if it were a reciprocal method. But since this is a step-down method, we forget about maintenance department. All this what we make here, we just go in the other department. So that's why the ratios that you consider is just 48 and 24. 48 over 72. Just these are the only number of human beings that you consider, the number of employees. These two here, you want to consider them. Are you okay now?
Yes, sir.
Any question?
No, sir, I'm okay.
All right. That's about it. The reciprocal method. This one is more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This one is indeed interesting. How does it work? How does it work? There are 3 steps that are involved. Number 1, you can express a linear equation and then solve the linear equation simultaneously. And that is this. This is what I want to show you. How do you form the equation? That should be your area of interest. Listen carefully. You have seen the total cost that is in the maintenance department, right? It's 300.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in the HR is 2160, right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you form the equations? Number 1, you have to read this statement. They say that assume that maintenance department provides 12% of its services to HR, which means HR is receiving 12% of maintenance. You understand? And
Mm-hmm.
also, HR provides 10% of services to maintenance, which means maintenance, the cost that they have plus the 10% of HR. You get the point. They also receive something from HR. Then similarly, the HR guys, their cost plus 12% that they receive from maintenance. Have you now understood how to form the equations?
Mm-hmm.
So it is the cost plus how much you receive from the other department in terms of percentage.
Yeah,
So you're looking at maintenance,
understood.
then you're like, okay, maintenance receives something from HR. How much of it? 10% of it. Okay. Now, when you're finished setting up these equations, what's the next step? They have to be solved what? Simultaneously. Right? It was done where there is maintenance, let's put M. M, it was 300. Let me just put 300,000 plus 10% of HR, right? That was the first thing. That's for maintenance department. For HR department, it was what? 2,160,000 plus what? 12% of what? Of maintenance. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So now, these equations, if you've looked at them critically or nicely, they have some relationship. Here in the second equation, there is HR. There is HR
So where
also on
HR
top.
is basically.
So you can replace one equation into the other, regardless of whatever equation, it will give you the same. If in maintenance we decide to replace HR where there is HR here, where there is HR, you put the whole function for HR. Have you seen that? This is what I've done this. And then you expand, right? 0.10 times this gives us this amount. 0.10 times that gives us this. And then we can critically from here we can nicely solve for M, for maintenance, right? Because we have these things equal to maintenance. Then make maintenance the subject of the what? Of the formula. There is already M here. Let this cross to the other side of the equation. Then these add together. Then divide through, because here you know that there is invisible one. So you can say 1 minus that, and you divide through. This is the costs that has been allocated to the maintenance department.
Then we take the
M.
Yeah, to find HR, we take the M, we put it
exactly.
the 522.
And just put in.
Yeah. And then divide it by 0.10, 0.1.
And then find HR.
Yeah, simultaneous equations, I know how to solve them.
Right. I see you are able to remember, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing is allocate the costs. That's number 3. You allocate the what? The costs. How do you allocate the costs? How do you actually allocate the what? The cost.
The cost.
Very interesting. Teach the branch allocate. You add to these, you remember these were already there.
Yeah,
you have to
300.
add these new costs that you have calculated for now. You're following, right?
Yeah.
Now, these new costs that you have calculated, they are the ones that you're going to allocate. Let's start with maintenance first. Maintenance, this cost, it has to go to where? This is the reciprocal method. It has to share something to the what? To the other department, to HR, and to assembly, also to the finishing line. So how is it done quickly? This is how it is done. You have to.
Now, where did the 2 million
You know where the
come
12%? Which 2 million?
The 2
This one. What? This one.
Yeah.
For HR in the previous slide.
Oh, the
when we
one
are
that
solving
you
the
found.
spontaneous equation. This,
Oh, that's what
when
we
you are
found.
solving.
Oh, okay. After adding it. All right. Makes sense.
So now, if you remember, maintenance, we are using the square feet, right?
Yeah.
So you have to just do the one for HR and for these other departments. Square feet.
Square feet.
How much was there under? How much was there under HR? The square feet. I just want you to understand where the percentages are coming from, so that you're not memorizing them. They are here. How much was there under square feet, square feet, square feet, square feet, square feet, square feet? It is here. Have you seen?
Yeah.
So you add these first. How much do they give?
30 plus
250.
100. Yeah, 250.
So in terms of percentages, now you can do it in terms of percentage. You can say 30 divided by 250 times 100. That will be the percentage. How much is the percent?
12%.
12%. That's where the 12% comes
do
from.
directly 30 divided by 250, ka?
Then here, 110 divided by 250 times 100 is what you put here, 44%. Do the same. Yeah. These are the percentages. That's how you come up.
Yeah,
then for what's this? For this other department again, for HR as well, just consider these. This, that, and that. You get. You don't consider this one. So you add them together. That will be equal to 80. So it will be 80 divided by 80 times what? 100. It will give you the percentage.
I can just use let's say 30 divided by 250, right? I don't have to do the percentage.
Yes. Yeah, it's still fine.
Okay. Let's keep it.
Even here you do 48 divided by 80. 24 divided by 80. It will give you these percentages here. Have you understood where percentages are coming from?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Understood.
America? Oh, you don't understand this language. Okay. So this is where the 10%, 60%, and the 8 came from for HR as well.
Yes.
So if, for example, here when you're allocating for maintenance, do 12% of this. This is it. 44% of the very cost, this same cost that you're allocating, it will give you this. Then for what's this? For HR, it is this cost that we're allocating. 10% goes here. Then the 60% is that one. And then add this. We're just interested in these that goes to the department. Simple.
The thing is, it's never ending, right?
Yes, so it's better just leave it here. That's why they didn't allocate this one. They just left it here so that it could, because again, you could have said, okay, let's reallocate this one. You understand? If you reallocate this one again, there'll be something here.
Why is it the most accurate? They say that reciprocal method is like the most accurate allocating, like, method. Why is it
Because of the percentages that it gives, like those ones. When they say this, the probability this department receives such a percentage of the cost, you get like those 10%, the 12% things. When you solve the spontaneous equation, it gives actually something that is closer. Not really very accurate, but it's closer. These are just approximations. There is no correct answer. There is no, how should I say, exact answer. These are just usually approximations.
Okay.
You got it?
Yep.
Any question?
No, sir. I'm okay with it now.
So basically, this is what you actually needed. I think even if you are to go through that question now that you are talking about, it's exactly the same things. You can manage it.
Now I understand the question. I even checked
Hello?
while we were going through it.
Oh, yeah.
I was checking as we were doing it.
So what is your question now? I'm here.
No, I think now I'm pretty much fine. I just want to know the things I think we've gone through pretty much everything. We've done CDP, we've done